What's up, everybody? What's up? Welcome. Give me 2 seconds, guys. Running a tad bit late, so I gotta post this link to a few people, man. But how is everybody doing? Hope everybody's doing well, but I'm gonna give an official intro to the show. Give me 2 shakes of a rattlesnake, and I'll be with you in just a moment. But hope everybody's good, man. How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling? How has your week gotten off as far as the start to the week? How are you feeling about the Steelers' victory? And most importantly, man, how you feeling about the Steelers overall? And we'll get into all of that. I got so much to talk about, man. I'm going to try to be quick tonight in anticipation of, some of you guys calling in. And let me send the link to my nephew here. All right, there we go. All right. All right, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of Terrible Towel Tuesday. I am your host, SimFBallCritic, live from the Still basement. And boy, do I have a lot to talk about tonight. I'm going to say hello to all of the early commenters. I do see we have a phone call in the queue. If the phone call that's currently in the queue, if you can confirm that you're able to hear me, let's make sure Blog Talk is working tonight. But let's confirm that everything is working accordingly. But what's happening, everybody? Let's say hello to the early commenters as I look here to my right. You guys left. Why Diggy in the building? The Art Steeler, a.k.a. Baby Steeler. Hello, Angie. Hello, Miss Lady. We always take time to give a special shout out to the ladies of Steeler Nation. Fellas, treat them with care. Treat them like royalty. Make sure you say hello. Another one is in the building as well. Lanisha. Hello, Lanisha. Hope you're having a lovely night as well. Fellas, y'all know the routine. Don't make me ask you twice now. Vista Light. Jack Bauer. Crazy Ron Gaming. Mark Cunningham. Malik Ortiz. Who else? Ali Howard, Jared Devil. Hello, Alisa, another lovely lady of Steeler Nation. Hello, thank you for coming through tonight. Make sure you take care of them, fellas. Knight Rider, what's up, Knight Rider? I haven't seen you in a while, man. How you been? Hope you're good. Hope you're well. Good to hear from you. CT Pittman in the building. Tina Williams, man. Ladies in here tonight, fellas. Shoot your shot. Nah, lovely to see them, man. Lovely to see our lovely ladies. Hello, Tina. Hope you're doing well as well. Joshua Shields. My good brother Kenyon in the building. Who else we got off in here, man? Stillberg is in here. Jameer Sanders is in the building as well. And we'll leave it right about there. So I'm going to tell y'all right now, all over the place tonight. Y'all know it's a commute day for me. Super tired. Things got extended longer than it was supposed to. I didn't get a chance to do some of the things I wanted to do. So I have some points that I'm going to hit on. Y'all know I like to freestyle it, but did rewatch the game. I definitely did that, but I only got about a quarter worth of all 22 footage in, so I can't really break everything down, even though I will reference a couple things that I looked at. So let's get to it, man. Let's see. The first thing we're going to talk about is a couple of the things that Mike Tomlin talked about in the presser. And where do I want to start? I guess we could start with some of the current injuries that we know about. I don't remember them all, but let's talk about the important ones. Cameron Johnston. Unfortunately, the worst happened. Most of us already knew what that was going to be. We pretty much could we could see that the day that it happened, right? We could see that the unfortunate incident where Miles Killebrew was pushed back into him. Killebrew got called for holding, but unfortunately, man, Johnston's leg or knee, right knee, the plant leg got caught up in the mix, and he's out for the season. He's out for the season, and that is unfortunate, man, because it's been a long time since we've had somebody who was a been there, done that type of guy punting the football and proved his worth and was already showing us what he was capable of in preseason. And it's unfortunate that his season ends just like that. Sucks. Really sucks, man. Darius Rush also is in the protocol. Mike Tomlin said that he is in the concussion protocol. They are anticipating him passing and coming out of that, so he will be a day-to-day situation. And also they talked about Dan Moore. Dan Moore having some sort of ankle injury that, started to swell or what have you, he said yesterday. So in that regard, I'm assuming he's talking about Monday. And, he said, of course, we'll let his participation be the guide and see what happens there. Now, that's a big one as well, because if Dan Moore is out, right, does that mean that we now get to see Roderick Jones on the left side? And is Fautanu healthy enough to come over here and play right tackle? Is he healthy enough to get in the game? Or does that mean we're going to see Dylan Cook, one of those guys, play left tackle? So that's something to very much so keep an eye on to see what's going to happen come game day, right? So let's keep an eye on the injury report, and we'll monitor that daily. I may even do a couple quick videos every day just to say, hey, this person is on the injury report. Let's keep an eye on it. All right. So those are the key ones. Here's another key one as well. Russell Wilson. Mike Tomlin was asked, if Russell Wilson is healthy, is he your starter? Well, I like what Mike Tomlin said. You could pretty much guess as much. I'm not going to get into the hypotheticals. He says, y'all know me. If you know me, I'm never going to do that. So it's not going to start that right now. And he said, we're going to go through our normal routine. We let practice participation be the guide for these fellas. And we'll see what happens by the end of the week. But he says, and I quote, as of now, they are moving forward as if Justin Fields is the starting quarterback for week 2 against the Denver Broncos. Now, I will pause for a moment because I know a lot of times you guys and gals like to comment on some of these things. And I'm not always looking over here to the comments. So I want to stop at this moment, look at the comments and see what you all have to say. How do you feel about Justin Fields being the starter going into week 2? And outside of week 2, I know it's early, but after seeing his week 1 performance, how do you feel about him being the number 1 quarterback long term, right? And when I say long term, I'm talking about this season. But first answer, how do you feel about Justin Fields going into Denver as the starter as opposed to Russell Wilson? Let me come to the comments and see what you all have to say there. Excuse me. Let's see what y'all got. Real G Lee says he should be the starter. Okay. I'm good with it. That's what Kenyon says. Still a card says if it were up to me, I'd start Fields the rest of the season. CT Pittman says I'm fine with Justin. Gives him an opportunity to build some continuity. Hold on. Got to interrupt myself, guys. We got a donation. Here y'all go. Y'all firing off that lunch money early. Round of applause to Last King of Scotland. Appreciate it. Thank you so very much, man. Appreciate it. He says, doubt Wilson plays this week, but if Tomlin plays game and does not start him when healthy, he will ask for his release and Wilson will not back up Fields. Okay. Now, that's a valid point. That could very well happen. So what he's saying is if he does not start Russell Wilson, if he's not the starter once healthy, then Russell Wilson will demand his release and that he will not back up Justin Fields. I mean, that is possible. I mean, we never know these guys' motivation. We hear them say all the right things. Oh, I'm a great teammate. Oh, I'm rooting this guy on. They even said that Justin Fields, or it was said that Russell Wilson was the one who came out, warmed up for a bit, went back into the locker room, and he told Justin Fields himself, hey, you're up. But, everybody has feelings. Everybody has emotions. I'm sure Russell Wilson wants to play. So if he does, in fact, not get a chance to at least play, might create some type of rift in terms of his feeling towards, not necessarily towards Justin Fields, but not being able to play. Let me see. Did anybody else answer? Alex Dingy says, I'm fine with it. Plus, Justin is younger. Okay. Antoine Hill says he's good with it. And I think we can stop right about there. So yeah, hold on, one more. Vista Light says I'm cool with it, with Justin Fields starting, but he has to protect himself better by not taking those unnecessary hits. Absolutely, absolutely. And while we're talking about Justin Fields, let me talk. Hold on, got to interrupt myself again. Here come the lunch money. Jameer Sanders, round of applause. Thank you so much for the donation. And before I actually answer, I'm gonna show y'all how real I am. That lunch money line, I get that from my homie K Spade, the prospect. Used to be a YouTuber, now he actually works at EA Sports. Some of y'all know who K Spade. He used to always say that, man, when he used to stream and somebody would donate, he'd be like, we got that lunch money. So I'm just giving him a nod by using that. I'll come up with my own catchphrase. But Jameer says, I think Fields is the QB we need to move the chains. He gave the defense time to rest all game. That's all they needed. Justin will get better in time. Yeah, I don't think I can disagree with the sentiment here or anybody's sentiment of saying that Fields should be the starter. Because honestly, here's a real question I have. And I'll ask this to you all as well. What does Russell Wilson do so much better than Justin Fields today in terms of if we start him over Fields? You guys know I'm a Russell Wilson fan. Have always been a Wilson fan. Y'all know that my background. Yes, I live in Pennsylvania. This is home now. I've been here a long time, but I'm born and raised in Richmond, Virginia. I'm always going to rep VA, particularly the Cap City. Russell is from there. So I'm always going to support people from the hood. My crib. Not saying Russell Wilson is from the hood. I'm just talking about, the conglomerate, the whole neighborhood. I call our home city, that's the neighborhood. Regardless of what part of town you're from. I'm always going to support the crib. However, Russell Wilson in this stage of his career, not necessarily able to move the chain with his legs. He can do it, but he's not going to be a part of the plan. The plan to use his legs, RPO, right? Read option. He's not going to be a part of that. Zone read. No. Design QB run. No. Tomlin talked about that in the presser as well. There was a third down situation and they said they talked it over with Justin. They decided to keep it in his hands. Justin made the play, got the first down on third down. That's not going to be a decision with Russ. Now, Russ could probably still play action. He could still do boot action, but you understand what I'm saying? So what does Russell Wilson do so astronomically, over the top than Justin Fields that would make you say he must be the starter? And that's not me discrediting Russ. If Russ gets in there, I think Russell does add accuracy, play action, throwing the ball downfield. But is it going to be completely like where, clearly he's the better option? But like I said, I think accuracy will be the biggest thing. Let's see what y'all got real quick, and then I'll get back on to the show. Why Diggy says he might be more accurate. Maybe, okay? Jim Inman says experience. He can read the defenses, okay? Ali Howard says Russ runs the operation better and doesn't fumble snaps from center. Good point. Hold on, guys. Let me turn this. I think my ISO is too high. Here we go. Turn some of that light down on the computer. Some technical terminology there that some of y'all may or may not understand. Let's see what else. Now I got to refocus. There we go. What else do we have here? The infamous Tim says, I think Russ is more consistent as a passer than Fields, and especially in the rhythm passing, which is why he was named the starter. Okay, you might be correct with that. You could very well be correct in that regard. Let's see what else. Anybody else? Still a card says Fields' legs are such a weapon. How many times did he convert on third down running the ball? Facts. We got another one. Another donation. Round of applause again to the last king of Scotland. He says he is a much better passer. 10 and 28 don't lie. Now, the 10 and 28, I must say that's a little skewed in terms of the number because we're talking about Justin Fields' winning percentage or record. That doesn't all fall on the shoulders of Justin Fields. So let me just say that. But I think we all can agree, and I'll say that right now. Currently, from what we saw from Russell Wilson and what we know of Justin Fields, let me say know of, because again, Justin Fields could improve with the Steelers. But comparing what we saw from both of them in recent years, Russell Wilson is going to be the more accurate passer. What I'm trying to figure out is whether or not Russell Wilson takes this offense to the next level with that accuracy and experience, or are we getting about the same production from both, but both of them doing it in different ways? That would be my question. But we'll see. I think it's definitely worth Russell Wilson, getting the opportunity to play, and we'll be able to see who's the better fit. But all right, let's get back to the program, shall we? So those are the only things I guess that I would talk about in terms of Tomlin as well. I didn't take anything else from what he said. A lot of his questions and his responses to them will be, kind of surface level, and you can kind of take from it what you will. So what we did learn, of course, is, I already talked about the injuries, man, and that's going to be key. We have to keep our eyes on some of these guys, like Siamalo. Is he going to be able to come back sooner than later? We don't know. He did say guys like Roman Wilson are also working their way back. So I'm very curious to see how that will transpire, because Roman Wilson, I think he would be better suited to block, as Van Jefferson didn't have the best day. As I rewatched the game, did not have the best day blocking. Speaking of Van Jefferson, and he was the one, unfortunately, that took the brunt of it. But y'all remember when we ran that? We ran like it looked like a RPO, because it was a fake handoff, and then it was a quick bubble, and Van Jefferson, was right behind two blockers. It was George Pickens and I think Calvin Austin, if I remember correctly. And Jesse Bates just ran right through the block, made the tackle. That was an excellent play call, in my opinion. We had it set up. All they had to do was just get a hand on the defender, which I'm surprised. George Pickens is an animal at blocking. So I'm very surprised at the lack of ability of at least impeding Jesse Bates. And that wasn't GP's best moment in terms of being a blocker, but I love the play call. So that's what I'm talking about, guys. I'm not one of those people that just because the play didn't work, I'm like, bad play call. No. Go back and look at the design and look at the execution or lack thereof. Do not judge play calling just off of result. You cannot say it was a great play call just because it works or when it fails. Look at what we were facing, look at down and distance, look at personnel, all of that, and then determine if it was the right call. And I think that was an excellent call, just didn't execute. All right, so let's move on to a new segment that I want to have for the show. This is going to be a new segment that I'm going to debut here tonight. All right? And this new segment will be called The Big Hat Moment. The Big Hat Moment. There's a couple people that deserve a big hat nod. Now, full transparency, I got to get me some more light in order for you to see my face with the big hat. So I'm going to put it up high for right now. There's a couple people that I want to give the big hat. Got to give them a nod of the big cap. First and foremost, let's talk about a guy by the name of Dante Jackson. Round of applause to Dante Jackson. Dante Jackson gets a tip of the big hat. What a game he had, man. Dropped the interception early. A little ticked off by that. But he played a really solid game, man, overall, after I rewatched the game. And also after we learned from his post-game conference that he kind of recognized the concept and the situation that we got burned on early with the Kyle Pitts touchdown. He recognized that. So he recognized that they ran the same concept earlier, and he was able to get the interception in the fourth quarter because he understood what they were running. Both him and Minka were in position. Or actually, I think it might have been Beanie Bishop. Yeah, I think Beanie Bishop was in front of him. But the fact that Jackson said, man, I saw that in the first quarter, or whatever, second quarter, I think it was, when they scored the Kyle Pitts, and he recognized it. That's the type of big head, heady stuff I need my guys to be doing on the field. Beautiful. So he gets a tip of the big hat moment. Gotta love it. Next up, TJ Watt. Round of applause to TJ Watt. What is there left to say about TJ Watt? I don't have the superlatives, as they say, the adjectives. Do y'all realize what type of game TJ Watt actually had? Take them penalties away. Take that offsides away, because he was not offsides, as we have now studied the film. Do y'all realize the type of game that man had? And I love who was it that he talked to at the end of the game? One of those NFL Network guys, I think. But I love when he said, hey, I don't know if this is a real phrase, but I've never seen a walk-off sack. The boy closes the game on a sack, man. Going 100 miles per hour at the end of the game. This is what I'm talking about. And I'm almost ready to say it. I'm about to say it. Matter of fact, I think Kenyon said it earlier. Let me see. Let me check. Because I was driving when Kenyon texted this, but I kind of looked at my phone. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. What did Kenyon say? Kenyon, you're absolutely correct, sir. Because I was going to say this too. And when I saw that little bit come across my watch, because I'm trying to be careful when I'm driving. I just look at the watch. I don't look at the phone. I'm going to echo what Kenyon said. I've been feeling this way for a while now. TJ Watt is the greatest outside linebacker in Steelers history. Period. Shout outs to all the greats, especially guys like James Harrison, Big Debo. TJ Watt is the best one, man. I'm sorry. You can agree or disagree. Looking at everything from top to bottom that this guy has done, come on, man. The play that he made last year against the Rams, picking off Matthew Stafford. The boy read the coverage better than any corner. Come on, man. The motor, the consistency. He is the dog. I'm not even going to say a dog. TJ Watt is the dog. Point blank, period. A tip of the big hat to TJ Watt. Special. And he's not done. Special. All right, next up, the title of tonight's show. By God, the Pittsburgh Steelers have found themselves a center. Oh, round of applause to Zach Frazier. Zach Frazier is a dog too, bro. Ooh, that one play, I think it was the first quarter. It was the pitch out. It was the one when it was almost well, it was a bobble snap, but it was almost another fumble snap. Remember the one with Justin Fields? He bobbled it again, but he was able to pitch it out to Najee Harris. Najee gets around the corner, lays the boom, gets the first down. Go back and watch Zach Frazier on that play. Put his boy in the dirt. Whoever that was in front of him got put in the dirt. Then he followed him and put him in the dirt again. Dog handled himself very well as a rookie. What a debut. Dog, we have got ourselves a center. I'm calling it right now. I don't care if it's early. We have not seen that type of production from the center position in a long time. Big country boy. He just countries all over him. He just looked like West Virginia. It was fitting that he went to West Virginia. He's one of them big country, go hit that. Okay. And that's what he does. He just looked like a dude who was made to be on the offensive line. Not just because of his size. It's just he just looked like a offensive lineman. And he plays like it. And he don't even look like a mean guy. That's the thing. So you can tell he flips that switch. Oof. Ooh, that boy's bad. I love it. Love what I'm seeing out of him, man. So for that, a tip of the big hat. And I think that's all of the kudos I'm going to give tonight. Let me see. Let me ask y'all, before I go, let me ask you guys, who else deserves a tip of the big hat from Sunday's performance? I will ask y'all before I go. Before I go from this segment, and we'll get back. We'll take some phone calls. Who else? Oh, how could I forget? How could I forget? I got to cover my face. How could I forget the biggest hat moment? Chris Boswell. Round of applause to the boss. Now, don't y'all get too carried away. Now, everybody can't get a tip of the big hat. You got to really show out. Peyton Willis, honorable mention. Yes. And of course, I call him Willis. Peyton Wilson, honorable mention. But Boswell, 6 for 6. 2 field goals. I think one was 56, one was 57, the other one 51. Steady Eddie. And here all of these years, everybody just talked about Justin Tucker. No shade. Justin Tucker's a monster. But we got our own Chris Boswell. I'm not even going to say we got our own Justin Tucker. No. We got our own Chris Boswell, the Wizard of Boz. And y'all remember that season when he was shaky. Y'all remember how some of us was like, what you doing? Some of y'all even wanted to get rid of him. And boy, has he bounced back since then. Tip of the hat. Tip of the hat. And like I said, I will give some honorable mentions. You guys are right. Absolutely, Peyton Wilson. Absolutely, Joy Porter Jr. Had a nice game. And again, I'm just going through the tape, guys. I'm first quarter through with the All-22. I haven't had a chance to fully watch that. I rewatched the game, but I did watch the first quarter of the All-22 today. And I did skip to the second quarter. I did skip to that touchdown. And we'll talk about that here in just a moment. So those are my shout outs. I thank y'all for tuning into this new segment, the Big Hat Moment. And that concludes what I like to call the Big Hat Moment. All right, we back. We are back. So let me give a couple quick thoughts, man, on the game itself. We're at about 30 minutes, so we're doing good. Excellent defensive performance, man. I mean, we could give kudos to a lot of guys. Minkah Fitzpatrick played a great game, and again, some people only look for numbers. Minkah was all over the field, man, covering things on the back end. Him and KZ nearly close to getting a pick. Y'all remember that one tackle where he came from out of the safety spot and torpedoed his way to the line and tackled Bijan Robinson right at the line? Stuff like that, seeing that from your free safety, reading the gap and getting there. Minkah's a dog back there, man. He played well. Again, Peyton Wilson played well. Peyton Wilson saved probably what could have been a touchdown on his tackle on Robinson. Guys were playing well out there, man. Cam Hayward was being his normal Cam Hayward self. Him and Larry Ogunjobi, they was doing good on that line. Alex Highsmith applying pressure, batting the ball down. Patrick Queen, we got to get you to a point where you can, clean the trash up a little bit better. He gets caught up in the wash a little bit. So I need to, see him fight through that a little bit. But I think Patrick Queen is going to be okay. Also, did you notice, guys, and I didn't know the percentages until I listened to Alex and Dave. I didn't know the percentages, but I definitely noticed that Peyton Wilson was playing quite a bit in the nickel. So what we were asking for, we're seeing quite often already. Peyton Wilson is going to be a dog for the Pittsburgh Steelers defense. Here's something else I noticed just in that first quarter of all 22. Guys, there was a moment when we were in dime, right? I think this may have been Atlanta's first drive or the second drive. We were in dime and we had Dante Jackson in the slot. Yeah. Dante Jackson in the slot. We had Corey Trice on the outside. We had Joy Porter Jr. on the outside. We had Beanie Bishop playing that other intermediate slot area. Minkah Fitzpatrick, of course. And in that particular formation, KZ, I believe it was. So let me make sure I got my numbers right. Patrick Queen was in the middle. Yeah, so we had six DBs out there. But Jackson was in the slot. Because remember, I've been asking who's going to play the slot primarily. Now, I got to go back and look at our nickel package to see how much. And I think Beanie Bishop played it a lot and must have played relatively well. But again, I'm just getting through the tape. But I did notice that, man, early in the first quarter, we were in the dime. And it consisted of Dante Jackson being in the slot and Corey Trice on the outside. And Corey Trice was in that press position, up on him. The other thing I wanted to mention real quick, man, as far as that touchdown, got a chance to see that. Great concept, man, that they threw at us. Great concept. We were in cover 3, right? And what happened was they had trips on the left. They kind of ran that wheel action with Kyle Pitts. And they ran a guy right at the safety, another guy to the inside of the field, middle of the field, right? And it left Beanie Bishop on the island. Like he had to play the guy in the flat and, try to get his depth. But it was no possible way he was going to get back there to Kyle Pitts. And it was no possible way that the safety, I believe it was Minkah on that side, was going to be able to play that position as well. It was perfectly executed, man. They basically had 3-on-2. Perfectly executed. And, maybe in that situation you could say, and this might be, however you feel about it, and maybe it's a coaching moment. Maybe you say in that situation, it's like 10 yards to go to the goal line. Maybe you tell your corner in that situation, play deeper and run up and make the tackle. Don't worry about the flat as much, maybe. I don't know. But if you're able to see the film, and you guys who are members of the channel will see it, I'm going to show that play. You will see clearly why they were able to get a touchdown there past the Kyle Pitts. Was not a blown coverage. It was not a blown coverage. But hold on. I pause. Round of applause, man, to CT Pittman. Appreciate the donation, good brother. He says, thank you for reminding me because I definitely wanted to talk about the new signings. What are your thoughts on bringing Terrell Edmunds back? Where does he fit on our defense now? Honestly, I don't know. I question the signing not because I question Terrell Edmunds. Terrell Edmunds, I still think played well in his role for the Steelers. Not saying he played super good. I'm just saying in the role that he had for the Steelers, especially when Minka came, I think Edmunds played his role well. However, I don't know where he fits right now. It seems like just a depth piece because as of right now, KZ's playing just fine. Oh, another honorable mention, tip of the hat could go to Deshaun Elliott. He played great. I seen him making tackles at the line of scrimmage. Like Deshaun Elliott was playing good out there as well. So I don't know where Terrell Edmunds goes. I really don't. We'll take it for depth, but I have no idea where he fits and why he was brought in at this very moment. And then, of course, we brought back Corliss Waitman. You guys may remember him. He will be the punter, and hopefully he gets the job done. I do remember him having a big leg because I definitely remember there was a competition when he was with the Steelers, and, he didn't end up winning it. But I think we all recall him kicking very well when he was with the Steelers. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, overall, man, that's all I got as far as my recap of the game, guys. I think there's a couple things that I will say, and I'm trying to get everything out, man, so I could be done when I get to the callers. I still don't like overall the offensive approach. What I mean by that is I feel like whatever we were figuring out and whatever we got to in the fourth quarter, and some of that could be compliments of Atlanta's, whatever defense they was throwing at us. But we need to be more like how we were playing in the fourth quarter early on. And that's why I said I don't necessarily like the scheme yet, because it still seems like they're going to rely on ball control, good defense, and winning the turnovers. That's not always going to work. That's not going to work when you face off against these high-powered offenses. And the funny thing is, we talk about our offense, and there was no teams really blew up offensively this past weekend. There was a couple that blew their guys out. But, I mean, even some of the best offenses didn't explode, right? Look at Cincinnati. Cincinnati getting shut out. I mean, obviously, you see what happens when you don't have Higgins out there and a couple other guys to complement. But, there wasn't a lot of the most powerful offenses that we would think of didn't do much. Look at the Dolphins. They didn't put up crazy numbers. They did score touchdowns, though, as opposed to 6 field goals. So I still think, man, we got to figure out a way to at least be a strike first type of team and control the clock. Like, can we be one of those teams that kind of like when Baltimore is clicking, how they could just milk the clock and score? Because they run, and they go down and score. Can we be the type of team, if you guys watched the game, the Lions game, what a good game that was, but see how they just went right down the field, ran that football in overtime, and David Montgomery just went off on that last drive, and they get into the end zone and end the game just like that. That's what I'm saying. Can the Steelers find a way to do both? Ball control, run the football, right? And that's a combination of both, but at the same time score points. Because we cannot rely on these field goals. It's not going to work the entire season. It is not. So I need to see Arthur Smith open it up a little bit, because I definitely liked some of them play calls he started throwing out there in the fourth quarter. I definitely did. So we'll see. Felt like we were a little conservative, man. But other than that, I don't have a big complaint about how the game went. Defensively was unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. To shut the Falcons down the way we did, like yards-wise. Unbelievable. Amazing. So, pretty happy at what we did. There's room for growth and improvement, but hey, it's always better when you're doing it with a win. All right, so let's get to these calls, man, so we can get out of here. First up, we have area code 973. What you got for us?
What's up, Sim? You can hear me?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Okay, I'm gonna try to make this quick. The first with the tip of the hat, I think I like the way Joey Porter played. Drake London had 2 catches for 15 yards maybe, something like that. And I want you to walk with me now, Sim. I'm Mike Tomlin, you Justin Fields. We walking through the Pittsburgh corridor. We stop at the 6 Lombardi trophies and saying, son, this is what we about. Sometimes in life, change in scenery is good. And I want your thought on, I heard since Carolina Panthers are so bad, they're going to just break that team up. Would you be essentially bringing Deontay Johnson back? Because I think that's another reason we need a number two, a good number 2 receiver to go along with George Pickens. And I think as Arthur Smith get comfortable with Justin Fields, he's going to open it more. He gives us more for our money than Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson's 36, 37 years old. I just want your opinion on that. You have a good night, brother.
Man, thank you for the call. I see somebody ask, was that Roughhouse Boston? No, I don't think that's him. Sounds a little similar, but no, if that was Roughhouse, he would have came in with his intro and all of that, telling you to just wipe your feet before you leave into the house. You know his thing. But shout outs to 973. I'm going to speak just directly to that Deontay Johnson point. Yes. I'm going against the grain. I know some of y'all didn't like Deontay. I'm saying it right now. Yes, I would. Yes. Because I would love to have that type of X receiver along with George Pickens. Remember, now George looking like he's a monster right now. But again, what are we seeing so far? Deep shots downfield, 50-50 ball. Arthur Smith so far using him the same way he used A.J. Brown in Tennessee. But imagine if we had him and, George Pickens now another year later, and now having Deontay Johnson that can beat any man coverage for the most part with his route running. I know y'all always try to get on him for his drops. Dog, yes, give me that. Give me that. In a heartbeat. Of course, if it makes sense monetarily. Sure would take that. And Justin Fields, listen, man, my thing is this. I look at Justin Fields the same way we looked at Malik Willis coming out. Potential. That's it. Just imagine if you can get Justin Fields to just play at a consistent level. He ain't even got to be great. Consistent. And add his legs into the equation. And his youth. And his speed. I think people forget how fast this kid is. Give me that all day. Thanks for the phone call. Really quick, man. Let me grab 2 donations, man. Man, y'all coming in early and often tonight, man. Why Diggy as well as Angie, aka Baby Stiller. Round of applause to both of you. Why Diggy? Excellent point. Definitely wanted to mention this. And see, this is why I love coming out here and doing this show with you guys and gals, my family, man, because y'all remind me of stuff. He says, we got to start asking, why we not throwing in the middle of the field? Is that a Tomlin thing? Because they refuse to do it. I don't think it's a Tomlin thing. Case in point. Remember some of the big plays we had last year? Some of those was in the middle of the field. Quick slant to George. Couple seam balls to Freiermuth. So it's in our bag. For whatever reason, we just don't take it out the bag. I do think it's scheme related, especially now with this seam. Man, there were times that I didn't notice, and I'll see it for myself when I watched it, thoroughly watched the All 22. But I heard that there was times where it was 3 tight ends, 4 tight, like all kinds of jumbo type sets out there. And that's not going to allow too many different options. You know, I know there should always be a way to get the tight ends in the middle of the field, but we're not even running a whole lot of digs or, you know, we're not running a lot of dagger concepts or anything like that, like deep ends. You know, we got to start getting more production in the middle of the field because we'll be able to eat, man. I know we will. Especially with having George Pickens on the outside, we should be able to go to work in the middle of the field, and hopefully a guy like Roman Wilson is going to bring that to the table. But yeah, I don't think it's a Tomlin thing, why Diggy, but it's a very good, valid question. Baby Steelers says, pissed off that TJ with the bad calls and he came back and dominated. Yeah, man, that offsides was ridiculous, bro. That offsides was ridiculous. It ain't nothing else we can really say. James Trevant says Atlanta was weak on the outside. That may be true. And yes, they had two very, very, very capable safeties in the middle of the field. But this has been a trend with the Steelers. So I don't want to say let's just hold our opinion to later in the season because we've seen that trend all season before. So I would love to think that was specifically the plan against Atlanta, but they're going to have to prove that to me as we progress through this thing. But all right, guys, I got to speed up a little bit, man. Running out of time. I talked a little too much tonight. Let's see if we can get at least a couple of these calls in. Area code 951. What you got for us?
Hey, what's up, Sim? Thanks for taking my call. I'll make it quick. Real quick, man. Last year, if you guys remember when Mason Rudolph came in, when I saw him play, I was surprised and I was amazed because with Trubisky and Pickett, I don't think we all season have been able to see a quarterback drop back in the pocket, to go through the read and just make a routine throw. And once Mason started doing that, the Steelers started scoring more points along with the running game. The question I got for you and the other fans is, when it comes to Justin Fields and Russell Wilson, is what do you guys think is beneficial for this offense now? Someone with the athletic ability and the speed like Justin Fields, or a quarterback, you know, I know who people say is getting up there in age, you know, I guess considered old, but his ability to go through the read, make the necessary throw, and spread the ball out amongst the other receivers and weapons that the Steelers have. That's all I got. Thanks.
Man, thanks for the call, and that is an excellent point. And this is the reason, honestly, man, if I put my my what if to the side, this is the reason why I think you do at least need to see Russell play in this offense. Because if he could be that, right? If he could give us that, you know, you compare him to what we got from Rudolph. Just imagine if Russell can be that. Making the routine plays routinely. How much more potent would the offense be? It's a question that you got to ask. Because I'm cool with Russell Wilson being the guy this year. We continue to groom Fields, and maybe we take Fields, you know, try to lock him in for the future. It'll be easy to sign him if he's not playing. So that's why I do kind of want to see both, because I want to see how the offense operates with both quarterbacks. I just hope it doesn't turn into a back and forth situation. So I think we do at least owe Russell Wilson the option to get back in there and start at least 1 or 2 or 3 games as the would-be starter. And if he struggles, then you can come back to Fields, who would have already played a game or 2, depending on what happens this week. And that's what I got for you. All right, let's see if we can get another 1 or 2 in, guys. Area code 302. What you got for us?
Hey, Sim, I'll keep this real quickly. Firstly, I wanted to say that someone like he's due. You know, I think, in my opinion, he's been the captain of this offense since Ben left. You know, throughout all the inconsistencies at quarterback play calling, receivers being divas, offensive line not blocking. The only thing that's been consistent about this offense is that it runs through 22, and I think he deserves more credit. And then my question for today is, you know, being that we hear that the trade with the 49ers for Ayuk was really close to getting done, if we had made the trade with the 49ers to get Ayuk and we paid him somewhere between $28 and $30 million, do we still sign Pat Fryermuth to a second contract? Do we still sign Cameron Hayward to a second contract? How does that affect how we move our money around this offseason? Thank you for taking my call. Have a good one.
Man, excellent point. Let me talk about the first point first. Yeah, I think Najee Harris definitely needs some credit. He has been a constant. You know, this guy is on his third 1,000-yard season, and I'm rooting for him to do it a fourth time to set that record, definitely instill a history. I like Najee Harris a lot, man, and Najee was out there running that ball hard. Najee looked energized out there. I don't know if y'all noticed it. Najee looked like he was running with purpose. I love it. I love it. And yes, he has been a constant. Even last year, man, when let's be honest, when GP was having a couple little incidents online and Deontay, you know, if you listen to Najee's interviews, he referenced those things a couple times, like, yo, people just got to get on the same page, and natural born leader. So I'm definitely rooting for Najee, man. I actually would like to keep Najee Harris, man, if he pans out. Hopefully they can get a deal or something done. And yeah, as far as the money, I think we may have tried to get Cam Hayward, you know, because I think the reason why they signed him is different reasons. And I do think, honestly, the way they constructed the deals, they probably would have found a way to make it work, because if you notice, both Cam and Fryermuth, if I'm not mistaken, they didn't get any new money or new money average for the current season. So their cap would have been basically the same. It is the same for this season. So they may have been able to find a way to, to fit that money in there. All right, so gonna have to go, guys, as far as the phone calls, man. Again, this is week one for me as well. Got to get my pace together. This one ran a little long, so I'm not gonna be able to answer the remaining calls. I do apologize, my good people, man. Let me go ahead and say it now. Again, this will be an optional thing, but as we progress through this show, and I'm predicting the show to grow bigger and better, if you must have your call answered, you could drop a small donation in the chat along with your area code, and I will make sure I move you up in the queue. But other than that, I'm going to try to do a better job with monitoring discussion time and phone time, so I won't have to cut anybody short. So if I've done that tonight, I do apologize. And I'll just give a couple more quick words, guys, before we roll out of here. Justin Fields definitely needs to be more of the... I'm going to make a wild comparison, and I'm going to see how you guys feel about this. What if Justin Fields could become the Philadelphia Eagles' Michael Vick? Think about what I'm saying for a moment. Yeah, Michael Vick was electric in Atlanta. I mean, my God. But to me, the best quarterback that I've seen from Michael Vick was when he was an Eagle. The 2010, the 2011, that era. Oof. The Michael Vick that's throwing for plus 300 yards in games. In the pocket, using his feet to get by him time, still using it as a threat. But he was a pass-first guy, ran when he needed to, stand in the pocket and deliver with that strong arm. Justin Fields has a strong arm. That throw he threw to George Pickens right before the half, that's not the easiest of throws. The guy rolled to his left and threw it back cross-body about 40 yards. Another amazing throw was the one he threw down the left side, where he threw it to the inside and made Pickens adjust to it. That was a very headsy throw. So just imagine if Justin Fields could become the Michael Vick of the Eagle era. Oof. I think he has the capability to possibly play like that. I don't know if he can get that type of pocket presence. Because again, just think about the time when Vic was with the Eagles. Vic was standing in that pocket and delivering and throwing, dart after dart. Ooh, boy, when Michael Vick was throwing it, that was a pretty thing to see, man. It was beautiful to see him run too, but when the Eagles version, where he showed off his arm, I remember one play when he threw it between 3 defenders. I think they was playing at the time, well, they weren't called the Commanders then, but I'll be politically correct and say the Commanders. And he zipped that ball into Selleck. Man. But like I said, look at a couple of them throws that Justin Fields made in that game. Them 2 throws to Pickens. And even remember the one early in the game, that out route to Pickens, where Pickens caught it here, the location of that ball. This is what I'm saying, guys. I'm in favor of whichever quarterback gives us the best chance to win, but I'm saying I see where if Fields can get it together under a new leadership, a new focus, a new coach, new offensive coordinator, new quarterback coach. Just imagine if he can just get it. He don't have to be the greatest, but just imagine if he is a solid quarterback with his skills. That could be something to behold. So I am holding on to that. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But that's about all I got, man. Great show here tonight, guys. I appreciate y'all. I will give y'all 2 minutes for any last comments that y'all want to throw out there. And I appreciate y'all entertaining my new segment, man. The Big Hat Moment. That should be fun this year. Hopefully we won't have to have too many office visits. Hopefully not. Jamie Carlos says, no, Fields isn't ready yet, but his talent is through the roof. This is what I'm saying, man. I'm just looking at the potential. And this could end up being a beautiful situation, man. Let's say Fields starts Sunday. Get 2 games under his belt. Put enough out there for us to see the potential, us and the coaches. Russell comes back. Russell does what he do. And then they decide at the end of the year, hey, we do want to try to get Fields locked in for the future. It could work out in our favor. It could very well work out. We'll see. But I am excited to see what this season is going to bring. And I'm going to let y'all know right now, this is going to be a tough season, guys. We have a tremendously hard schedule. Let's not get too overzealous with thinking we're going to do this, we're going to do that. That's what we do often as Steelers fans. But we'll see. All right, a couple comments. CT Pittman says, someone in the chat post-game Sunday said Arthur Smith was the Matt Canada 2.0. I just can't simp. Here we go already. See? Already. God bless some of y'all, man. You'll never be pleased. Got to give things time, man. God7 says Steelers need to pay Najee. All he's done is giving the Steelers all he's got for 4 years. Hasn't missed a game. Don't complain. He led by example. He leads by example. He's been a 1,000-yard rusher every year. Paid him, man. Yeah, I really do. I'm going to go ahead and say that. I really would like to get Najee back, man. I really would. Really would. I know that whole thing of paying running backs. I ain't trying to hear that, man. I like Najee Harris a lot, man. I really do. I don't know if they're going to pay him the kind of money that he might be demanding, but if they can find a way to make it happen, make it happen. Make it happen. Najee just got that demeanor, man. He just got, a part of me always will want the big bruiser along with the quick shifty. I'm always going to want a bruising type back for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm always going to want that. And Najee even look a little quicker. Got the right attitude. Man, and I love it. But all right, guys and gals, I'm going to get out of here, and I'm just going to ask y'all to do me a couple favors, man. Hit the like button, share the stream. Hit the like, share the stream. Hit the like and share the stream. That's easy. That's all I need you to do for me. Hit the like, share the stream. That's easy. That's all I need you to do for me. That's it. That's easy. If you need a verbal reminder, a visual reminder, like and subscribe. But share. Like and share. Like and share. But all right, man, I'm going to get out of here, man. Y'all know the routine, man. Make sure you guys stay safe. Stay healthy. God bless. Good night. Be on the lookout for me doing very, very quick post on the injury report. Might start doing that this season. Let's see if I can stick to it, right? Just a really quick uploaded video. Wednesday, Thursday, and then Fridays is when I'll try to do the pregame. But all right, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for tuning in. Like always, I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.